All right, I have the calipers off, which was just 2 small bolts here, which I believe were 14 millimeter, and then the bracket that the brake pads clip into comes off next from right here. 2 more 14 millimeter bolts, and then the rotor is actually kind of tricky. I actually ended up putting 2 screws into it and then torque them down a little bit. I believe the ones I used were 13 millimeter, but I'm not sure the actual size, but both of them fit in. And when you push them in, they push off the hub, kind of marked it a little bit. Should be fine though. And it finally popped loose from the assembly. Make sure your parking brake is off, otherwise this will be clamped on there. So this is off now. Let's see if the heat shield comes off. I don't know. So I'm gonna look at that and see if I can remove that, and then maybe get to the bushing a little bit easier. So who knows. Rear sway bar. I ran into numerous issues with these damn bushings. I decided also to replace this one, so I ordered this. Is the lower rear control arm outer bushing. I'm replacing everything else. I might as well replace that. I'm also on that. I'm gonna be doing my brakes. I'm gonna be painting my calipers black, and I gotta punch out this bushing down here as well. And yeah, so I'm stuck on those. I ordered a new bushing tool. Hopefully I can get that out if all goes well. But for the meantime, I'm waiting for that tool to arrive on Monday, which is about a week from now. I'm kind of out of commission. I'm gonna be riding my old Chariot. I'm going to install the sway bar and the end links, and hope for the best with that. So I'm gonna see if I can maneuver this in like I did, removing the stock one. All right, I was able to get this bushing pushed out with this kit here. So I got this one with the trailing arm bushing. I have the toe arms in, kind of just eyeballed from the length of the stock ones. And then the the trailing arm bushing set up, kind of just bam, bam to that. And just make sure you grease this up, bolt it down. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And I'll jump back here in a minute. I did notice with these SuperPro bushings is you're gonna get one side in, you want to put the centerpiece in only, so there is some room to maneuver this in so it actually can make a seat, and then you punch it through the back so it's flush. If you have this all the way pushed in and flush on the back before you put this piece in, it's very hard to do. So keep that in mind. Have the middle piece with some of the lip around here available. Get this started, hold it in place, and then punch the center in. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out, and then I'm going ahead and I'll grease up the trailing arm and then mount it up with the bolts. All right, I have the trailing arm installed with the SuperPro bushings. They are 17 millimeter. I believe bolt goes inward, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm not really gonna torque it down. I'm just gonna get them tightened up. So like I said, 17 millimeter. I'm gonna get them a little bit tight, and I'll have to torque them once I have the wheels on the ground. So I actually bought some wheel cribs, I guess they're called, that I will use to actually torque to spec, and I'll have those all posted up when I do that. So I'm just gonna tighten them, but not crazy. I believe the toe arm, the castle bolt is 14 or 44 pounds torque. I'm not sure the back ones, I think 80, but I'll post all that up when I figure it out. And if you did not notice, I actually ended up taking off the dust shield, which is spot welded on, and I hammered it off. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me, but this is the only way I can get clearance to get this damn bushing out the bottom. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do this on the other side. I don't have this bushing out on the other side yet. I'm gonna do that, install the other trailing arm the same way. I already have the tow arm on over there. And then I also have the Swaybar, as mentioned earlier. And once I get the trailing arm done, on the other side, I'm gonna go ahead and attach the lower control arm. All right, the trailing arm bushing on the hub, I had to take out completely differently than the lower control arm bushing. I actually had to go with a 1 3/16 socket, going from the inside of the car to the outside of the car, and push that socket through, and it's actually taking the sleeve now. I tried going through the other way with the same setup I had for the lower control arm bushing, and it actually was punching the center core out and not getting the sleeve. So it looks like I have to go in this way and out. It's gonna get loud here. I'm gonna see if I can drive the rest of this way out. And I'm out of air. I wanted to tank off so I could actually hear what I was doing, but you can see bushing coming out. Let's see if I can take the rest of the way with me. And it's off. Let's see. About to run out of battery, but and another bushing. Like I said, going the other way, it punched the center piece out with the bushing, and so I had to go with the socket. It kind of marred it up, so I wanted to clean it up a little bit. But I used this socket to push this out. It's a 1 3/16. So I think that's gonna be it this tonight.